Welcome back to the Have Not Room. I am Ben, joined here by Chad and Brian to talk about the premiere of BB27. We are back. Big Brother is back. It is a brand new season. 16 new house guests. Apparently, we'll talk about it, maybe only 15 new house guests, and we were bamboozled somehow. And then the return of a Big Brother legend. But before we get into that, we had a lot of setup. I thought this was actually a pretty good premiere. I don't know what you guys thought. Usually, Big Brother premieres are kind of mediocre. I think. Yeah, I thought this one was pretty fun. Chad, what are your thoughts so far? Brian and I got to talk about the cast a little bit last night, but we haven't heard from you yet. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually am really excited for this season. After looking at the cast more, I feel like it's more top heavy than I first anticipated, which is nice. I feel like we're gonna have a lot more above average players or minimum average players and less duds or middle of the road players. So I'm excited for that. I think they did a really good job of casting this year, and excited for my winner pick. Keanu, who confirmed is named after Keanu Reeves, which we all thought, but that is so funny. Yeah, I thought great first episode. I kind of am iffy on this BB AI arena or whatever what's it called now?
BB Blockbuster.
The Blockbuster being permanent, but I guess it could be interesting and fun. But it's definitely going to change strategy going forward, especially late game, because we've never seen it go late game before, which is going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I like the addition of the Blockbuster as a permanent fixture. I think, we talked about it, probably not on the podcast because we didn't cover last season too thoroughly, but at least in our group chat, we all enjoyed how it went, and hopefully it'll deliver compelling stuff. I don't know if the accomplice twist is a bridge too far for, the first episode is okay, 2 comms introducing 16 people. Okay, Rachel's here. And then another thing, it's all right, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people were speculating that they were leaning into traitors vibes for this season. The accomplice kind of feels very traitory. We're we're playing Mafia. It's Among Us, whatever. There's one hidden secret bad guy. You got to figure them out, and there's not really any reasonable clues. You just kind of have to go off of vibes.
Yeah, unless the accomplice really, really freaks out and somehow outs themselves, there's no way they're gonna figure out who it is.
Everything is intended. Yeah. I guess we kind of get this intro package from each of the house guests as normal. Did anything really stand out from any of those intros that we didn't really kind of get in the preseason? Because I don't really know what is much to talk about before we get into the opening comps. I think most of the house guests for me were I got what I expected.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think reading Adrian's interview online, it was dead on exactly what I expected from him, live. And his house was insane, and the wall comp in the backyard's insane. I almost think he's gonna be good because he's just so prepared. But who knows?
Yeah, I think the real big thing for me was just I don't think I really realized how jacked Keanu was from the videos. That is a big dude.
Yeah, I thought it was funny for him, the cuts in his intro package between him playing D&D and him doing the workout. It was well edited. I like that. It was funny.
Or whatever they're called. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. But yeah, let's get into those comps. I guess the first one, Rescue Julie. What do we think of that one?
Yeah, I think this like evil mastermind thing. This is like Big Brother campiness at its best, in my opinion. Big Brother kind of oscillates between taking itself seriously and not taking itself seriously at all. And I think that like this kind of premiere rode that line exactly like as well as you can, where there was a lot of like really silly, goofy things, and you have like this like evil mastermind figure with like that looks like the devil mask emoji on the screen. Yeah, he's setting up this mystery for the season. And yeah, I thought it was interesting that we had Julie, I guess, in the house as part of a comp. That's kind of a very rare thing on Big Brother. Usually she's not there in the backyard while they're doing the comp and like basically being a set piece.
Yeah, it was strange when they opened it and she really was in there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, a cardboard cutout. That would have been great. But I was like, oh wow, she's actually in there. She's gonna deliver this from the backyard. Interesting.
Yep. And Zach did good. I thought it was like a tough night for Adrian. Adrian came in like a very close second in both of the comps. Which may be good, maybe bad, like in terms of how his week one might go here. But yeah, he solves the puzzle first by somewhat cheating off of Zach, and then it kind of kicks him in the ass or bites him in the ass later when Zach then finishes the puzzle. And Adrian's already checked most of the doors, so Zach just runs to the door that he hasn't checked yet, checks that one, and it happens to be the correct one, the first one that he checks. So a little unlucky for Adrian, but really good strategic thinking from Zach in the moment, because I don't know if I wouldn't have expected it from him, but like I think that like that's not necessarily a thing that all players would immediately think to do on the spot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess, what do we think of the reward being $10,000?
I mean, hey, it's nice, and I guess it takes. I don't know. It's kind of like it's day one, and it hasn't even been like a night yet. So I think it could go either way. Of oh shit, this guy's already won $10,000, or oh whatever, it's not a power. Who cares? It's so early in the game. So I think it kind of depends on how, if he like brags about it or mentions it again. If I was him, I would just never mention it again. Never speak a word.
Yeah, right.
Just let it die. But good for him.
Yeah. I think with enough things that happened afterwards, it probably is going to fade into the background when you have Rachel coming in and then also this like accomplice twist happening. I think, and the head of household competition, I think by the time like it would be relevant, like 4 other things that are more relevant have already happened.
Right.
But yeah,
that's definitely a good point.
Yeah. I think it was odd that they had 2 competitions and one of them was just for money and one of them was for like a pretty powerful advantage, like game advantage. It did seem a little bit imbalanced. But I mean, it's Big Brother, it's not. Big Brother's not fair. Half the players not really having a chance to win the game-changing power is, I would say, not outside of the realm of what Big Brother is known to do. So
yeah, not terribly surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I guess we can go to the other competition that we had, the HOH Relic comp. I thought it was interesting that both of the halves of the competitions were like attention to detail memory kind of things, where you weren't really like planning to be doing attention to detail memory. Like it was like, could you remember what Julie was wearing? Could you remember what the HOH relic looked like? 2 things that most people probably weren't paying a ton of attention to. And there's like, kind of smacking you in the face right off the bat. Like, hey, you got to be ready to play constantly 24/7.
Yeah, I liked that, honestly. Anybody could have won these comps. It didn't feel like it was too biased towards anybody. They took a little bit of, I felt like it took a little bit of Beast Games with the trapdoor happening. I don't know if anyone watched that show other than me, but they loved trapdoors, especially early in that show. So, I thought it was fun, very campy.
Yeah,
I agree.
I did. It was interesting that it seemed like in like the entire episode, most of the cast was just trying to throw everything and not win. Like, most of the players didn't even want to compete in the HOH competition. It seemed like most of the people in the HOH relic competition were also throwing, or at least not putting in like a full amount of effort. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because like, I don't know if I agree with that. It's not surprising from what we heard from most of this cast in the preseason. This is like right on par with the expectations, but I'm curious what your guys' thoughts on everyone, basically, except for a few people trying to throw everything.
Yeah, it's like everyone still believes that winning the first HOH is still a curse, even though it's been proven wrong a couple times in kind of recent years. And also, is it the new meta to just throw the first comp and also lie about your job when your jobs are like not anything special? Like, like no one's like part of a SWAT team and no one's like a ADA of some crazy county. It's just like, those are pretty normal people overall, and everyone wants to lie about their job. Like, no one's like a detective like Derek. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's pretty common that no one wants to paint a target on them early, but also someone's got to win the first comp. And I think pretty much everyone said, oh, it's pros and cons of winning the first HOH. But I think the pro is you immediately throw yourself into the conversations with alliances, and everyone wants to work with you. So I guess it kind of depends who wins and how they sell it. But I guess it depends on their game and what kind of game they want to play too.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see if this works out for, Vince, or, if this is potentially a bad thing. I can see it going both ways with him. Honestly, he's not a player who I'm like fully convinced will be able to like build out a superpower alliance in the first week off his HOH, which is good. We don't want that to happen. So that's pretty good. I did like Adrian's strategy of being like, I'll play, but I'll throw it to you, because that's what I was thinking I would do.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'll play, but I'm not gonna win. You can win and keep me safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Adrian and Vince, in terms of a conversation with Jimmy, played it well. Which is like, you immediately are like, yeah, I want to play, and like, I want to keep you safe. If you want it, then I'll throw it to you. Like, I think that is the way to get picked. And then like, both of them did very clearly try to win. Like, I don't think that like, that's really going to be a detriment to either of their games, because they kind of like made that social play and put themselves in a position to become first HOH. I was actually really impressed with Adrian. I came into the season like really like not knowing what to expect with him, because I've been burned before by like the guy doing the really over the top like cocky character in the preseason with Kevin Jacobs in BBCAN 10, where like Kevin Jacobs also was like picked last in every single draft, because he was playing up this like cocky character like bit in his preseason press stuff. And it felt like that's also what Adrian was doing. And so I was like wondering whether or not that's what we were getting, where it was like a Kevin Jacobs situation where the second he gets into the house, he's a totally different person. This was all just for preseason casting, playing up a character, and he actually ends up being a pretty solid player. I mean, Kevin Jacobs, in my opinion, is one of the top 3 to 5 Big Brother players of all time across the international franchise. So, that's big shoes to fill for Adrian. But yeah, I really liked a lot of what I saw from him so far. And it seemed like he's already built some social connections. As far as Vince goes, I thought it was interesting that we got multiple DRs from people talking about how they hadn't really clicked with Vince yet or had a chance to talk to him. For me, that makes it better for him that he won this first HOH, because if he's already kind of being socially quiet and not having the conversations he needs to have with everyone right off the bat, that's the kind of person who is going to really gain a lot from a first HOH, because then it forces people to come have those conversations with you.
Fully agree.
I agreed. I think, people say the first HOH is bad. We don't subscribe to that on this podcast. We think it's good if you can, be a halfway decent player. Who's the guy? Frenchie? Don't be like him. Just be
Riley from 325.
Yeah. Riley, yeah. It is possible to win the first HOH and ask Rachel. She did it on BB13. So, yeah. It's So, do we have any idea who the accomplice is? Do we want to give our guess?
Oh God.
I've seen a handful of. I looked on some social media and I saw a handful of theories thrown out. I saw somebody say that Keanu was out of the room for multiple times, where they were kind of gathering in the living room and he was off either by himself or away from the living room, and he also found the back room. Maybe there was something there that he did. I've seen people say, "Oh well, Jimmy's a triplet. Maybe there's a triplet twist where his triplets are helping him be the where the triplets were helping him be the accomplice." I've seen Catherine's name get thrown around just off of vibes. I think those are the main 3 names that I've seen.
Interesting. I have no idea personally.
Yeah. Me neither. I thought it was going to be something that's picked tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're like America's House Guests or whatever.
Yeah, like our Saboteur from BB12, I think. Yeah,
I think Keanu would be fun because he loves Dungeons and Dragons. He would totally play up the role super fun. But Catherine just
it involves acting on Dungeons and Dragons, so maybe.
Catherine's she does fit the vibe really well, where she's just so quiet and kind of bland. So,
Morgan as well was another name I saw thrown around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We saw unless there were clues that were so subtle that everyone missed them.
Luckily, there's not going to be any feeds, so the BB fan base will be combing through this episode over the next 4 days, and we'll know by Sunday for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're in the house, right, and you have basically no idea, right, the play is to just accuse somebody that you want to get evicted, right? Yeah. And then if it's, you win the 1 in 16 or 1 in 15 coin flip, then you get somebody out who you didn't want to work with, right? I think that's the play.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
All right, so
go ahead.
I was just going to say, the HOH comp, obviously we talked a little bit about it with Adrian coming in second. I like this comp. I always think it's, it's a good one. Just like the last split second of time before the balls fell, that it was the last of the 10 seconds, which I thought added a little bit of spice to it. And then I feel like that was a shot from Survivor of the islands in Fiji.
Oh my God, they killed us the season 50 cast.
Oh no.
That was interesting. You don't usually get kind of real life B-roll like that just interspersed into into Big Brother in that way of like a an AI. I don't even know if that maybe that was AI. I don't know. I assume maybe it was just like
I feel like it was one of those like very cheap
yeah
explosion effects that
yeah
green screen that you can just like easily get online and just dump onto a clip.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But regardless,
I'm familiar with those from my young, filmmaking career, making shitty action things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It looked pretty similar. Is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely could have been a like a circa 2012 YouTube video.
Yep. Oh man,
that's awesome.
That's fun though. I enjoyed it. I think that, like I said, the campiness of this episode, I think it passed the vibe check for me. Like this is like the kind of less serious parts of Big Brother that I enjoy, as opposed to like kind of the sliming and the fart noises, which I could take or leave. Like this is more of like the vibe for campiness that I can get behind.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of Rachel's introduction?
I thought it was spot on what she would do. That's exactly how I imagine she'd walk in the house.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised she did the floaters grab a life vest in the house, and then she did "I'm back, bitches" in the DR. I expected her to do the like "I'm back, bitches" in the house, and I thought that made the most sense.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
People said the line, right? She said the line everyone expected her to say. She just did it in the DR.
Yeah, I was thrilled to see her. I mean, we got the shot of her in the red dress with her red hair, and I was like, all right, we're like, this is happening. Everyone was right about it online, and I couldn't be happier to see Rachel Riley officially a part of this season.
Yeah. I think, obviously, Brian and I briefly talked about this yesterday. Rachel is my winner pick. That is locked in now. She is a player, from what we can tell, at least, unless something crazy happens on Sunday to disprove that. It does seem like she is a real player. And I think as far as one returnee player formats go, Rachel's probably a pretty good pick. I obviously she is a winner, so she has that target that's going to make it a much more uphill battle than even somebody like Paul, who only got close to winning the previous season that he had been on. But I think that she has a chance to potentially do the cult leader thing. But she's also a very volatile personality. She does have a history of getting into fights with people and not really shying away from to getting into fracases. Even when she was on the Traitors a few years ago, she got into a lot of fights on the Traitors, particularly with Kate Chastain from Below Deck, also who was on the Traitors the next season. So yeah, I am very excited to see what she brings to the table. It's been 14 years since she's played Big Brother, which is insane. I think she now ties Kaser for the longest span of time between seasons for a returnee. She's now a mom of two. She was never a mom when she was on Big Brother the first time and the first two times. So yeah, there's a lot of intrigue here, I think, with Rachel as a player.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting to see how she does. Obviously, hoping for the best. I think she'll be okay. I don't think she's going to be someone who's targeted super quickly just based on reputation. Because while she is a winner, I don't know how many people are super threatened by her. Does that make sense? I think it's oh, it's Rachel. She's dramatic and gets in fights and stuff. But it's oh, she's also very good at the game. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say earlier, Julie at the very end, she said that Rachel wasn't the 17th health guest, and it's the accomplice that's the 17th health guest. Are we buying into that? Because I mean,
Well, I guess it's just saying that Rachel's officially a player, but the accomplice might not actually get to play if they get ousted.
Yeah. She was like, Rachel's not the 17th house guest, she's a 16th house guest. And the accomplice, the secret accomplice is the potential 17th house guest if you don't catch them and oust them. It was a very oddly designed, like, kind of word game.
It was an incredibly Big Brother.
Yes.
Them to do something like this. At the very
clearly
last
she
moment.
is. But also, like, let's say they evict someone next Thursday, but Friday they all decide Joe Schmo is the accomplice. Does that person then also go out like that day, or do they wait till the next eviction day?
I think you got to do it by the end of the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how long in real time that is. I don't know if it's like I don't know if they said if they had like 24 hours or something, but that was just the vibe I got was whatever 24, 48 hours, however long they give them between now and the Sunday episode. Because this all happened on Tuesday. They moved on Tuesday. And presumably the reason that we're not getting feeds until after the Sunday night episode is they don't want us to know whether the accomplice got outed or not. Because if we open the feeds up and there are only 16 of them, and they're like, yeah, so-and-so is the accomplice, I can't believe we got them out. Like, that kind of ruins the surprise for the Sunday night episode. So
Okay, now I get it, yeah.
Which is, I think, dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. But, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, anything else from this episode that you guys wanted to touch on?
Yeah, I think that mostly the standouts. I think the standouts for me were Adrian, Ashley. I think the four who competed in the HOH were like probably the four standouts. That's probably on purpose, and I think Keanu was also a standout. So a lot of the other players, I think, still a little quiet. I thought it was funny that Mickey called Riley. Riley looks like Brad Pitt. I think that's pretty insulting to
very
Brad
generous.
Pitt. Yeah.
She's very kind of her to say.
Yeah, I think Brad Pitt hears about that. You might have something to say.
Yeah. Yeah, as hey, maybe Riley allegedly just has a way with women. So that's part of it. I mean, he's a more handsome in person.
Mm-hmm.
He's very tall. That has to help.
Mm-hmm. I did think it was fun when Zay saw Keanu and was like, like kind of like goo goo gaga over him.
Yeah.
He was Myron, as they say.
Yep. Yeah, this is a bromance, but we'll see if that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that was fun. I liked him. Ava just like obviously she stands out because she like attempts to stand out with that hat and the way she dresses everything. But I'm very excited to see her be a little weird and crazy this season. Hopefully she's around for a while and it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that like Chad said, I think there's very few, if any, duds so far. Like, we'll see kind of how it plays, but like I think everyone in the cast has like something to give at the very least, whether it's like good or bad. Will even I thought Will had a pretty good episode. I'm still very like uncertain about him planning on not telling them that he was in the army for 22 years because like I just fundamentally don't know what you would do to cover up 22 years of your life. Like, he met his wife in the army, or like he spent the majority of his adult existence attached to this thing. Like, it's when you're in the house with people for 3 months, like, you're going to run out of things to talk about if you're avoiding talking about something that's that much a part of your life and your story. I think that's just silly. So I think that if he just stops caring about that and like doesn't hide that from people, then he could potentially be pretty good.
Yeah, so. I don't think something like that, especially because he's also a 50-year-old man. Like maybe he's still somewhat athletic, or maybe he just thinks it's going to be like, oh, was in the army, he's strong, or he's strategic. But I don't think that's really something that would like scare anyone off. And like you said, and like a lot of the cast interviews said, it's really hard to keep up such a like intricate lie when you're around people 24/7 for a long time. And I feel like that also kind of, it would distract me. Like if I was in the house having to think about lying about my career and then like thinking of how I would lie about it, I feel like that would take away from me paying attention to the game itself. Like unless you're Derek Levasseur, I don't know. I think there's not really much point in lying about your career if your career isn't anything insane. Like the professional baseball player, that maybe that's something you want to hide because I think he got money, but he was also minor league, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, that'd be interesting. And we talked about oh gosh, what's her name? The streamer, Ben.
Oh, Morgan, yeah.
We talked about Morgan, 17,000 followers on Twitch. Gamecocks Talk with Captain Whale, 56,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's not nothing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Morgan's another one who's like lying about being a gamer. It's like, who cares? What? Like I said last night, like telling people, like no one's gonna target her because she plays Apex Legends as a streamer. Like, it's.
I was gonna be like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a Fortnite player. I can't.
Yeah, I'm PUBG. I can't really down with Apex. But that's the thing, right? Like that she's mortgaging a potential opportunity for bonding with somebody else who also plays, plays FPSs or plays battle royale games or just video games in general. Like she's just like throwing away a potential thing that she can bond with somebody over for like basically no upside.
I know. I just think lying about your job is it's pointless because again, you're not going to be genuine with anybody about the lie that you're having. Whereas if you're around these people 24/7, and I feel like most people kind of have a read of if you're passionate about something or there's a lot of downtime where people maybe just aren't even talking about game, and that's how you build stronger connections and alliances, especially in the beginning. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just a throwaway waste of time. Like just say, hey, I'm a police officer, whatever, professional baseball player. Who cares? Like no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
Have you played Big Brother?
Right. The runner-up from 2 seasons ago was an Olympic swimmer, and like he told everyone that he was an Olympic swimmer. And it did not affect him as like people did not target him because he was previously an Olympic swimmer. Like you're not like there are people in the past like that that have had more threatening backgrounds that have not been targeted for those reasons. In fact, on Big Brother, you tend to get targeted for like pretty stupid and petty reasons, especially in the early weeks. Like usually it's just like personality quirks or like you don't fit in socially with the house. Like those are things that are more likely to get you targeted in the early weeks than you have a background that can be perceived as threatening through a certain lens. So
Suri was in the house.
Yes.
She didn't get targeted immediately for being Suri, so no job's going to be.
Rachel Riley's in the house right now, and she's probably not going to get targeted despite being Rachel Riley. By being literally a Big Brother winner, she's probably not going to get targeted. All right? Do you think that playing Apex Legends to 100 viewers on Twitch is more threatening than being Rachel Riley? Like, get over yourself, bro.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. But, Hopefully she'll be able to play with Dan on Twitch when she gets out of the house. Do a three. It's 3 people in Apex Legends, right?
I never got into it. That's like one of the battle royals I never got into. I played Warzone. I played a little PUBG, and that's it.
There's the other Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Her, Corey, and Dan. Have a squad on Apex Legends.
Yeah, there we go.
I think Quinn streams on Twitch now.
Quinn, yeah. Be good. Oh man, well, very excited to cover this season. I thought it was a solid premiere. I hate that we have to wait till Sunday for the second half of it, but it felt like a tease.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the start of Big Brother, but it's not really because we don't have feeds. So it's like it's just a big tease right now.
Yep. It's like it's like a little like a morsel. Like they gave us the appetizer, and now we're just like waiting patiently for the entree to come. And we're like, okay, come on, like any second now, like Yep. It was a very good appetizer, but I'm still waiting for the full meal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like when you've ordered and the appetizer's been done for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're gonna feel on Sunday.
Yep.
Like, all right. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get it moving. Yeah. No, I think this could have worked really well as like a Wednesday, Thursday, 2-night premiere, which I think is possibly what they planned it as initially, and they had to improvise with the scheduling. But yeah, I don't know. Waiting another 3 days to continue going from here is like going to be rough.
Yeah.
Yep. But we'll see you all in a week. For eulogizing the first person voted off of Big Brother 27. Do you guys want to plug or promote anything before we get out of here?
No, I'm on Blue Sky. That's really it. I mean, even on that, like I've kind of used it. I go through phases where I use it. I probably won't use it for Big Brother until the feeds are on, and once I'm like kind of in watching the feeds finally, I'll give my takes on there. Otherwise, yeah, definitely just hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, and be back with us next week with the first eviction.
Yeah, and what was that, chat?
I said ditto.
And if you're watching this on Better Radio or listening to it on podcast services, check out the Have Not Room YouTube channel. We'll be, if something crazy happens, maybe we'll pop on to do a short podcast stream, or just like a standalone video. That won't be like part of this bigger podcast thing on Thursdays. So check out that channel. Check us out on TikTok as well. And, all of our channels, we get everything, Those Fake Nerds, we get sports, the Blindsiders, there's got to be something you'll be interested in on one of these channels.
Yep. I know. Bombshells at the Villa is wrapping up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We got the finale of Love Island on Sunday night. And then Tuesday night, I believe, will be the last episode of Bombshells at the Villa for the season, where they break down what people say was like kind of a messy and not that great season of Love Island. But I've never watched Love Island before. I was entertained by this season. I thought a lot of very interesting characters on it, and having the Bombshells at the Villa podcast to listen to as a companion piece, I thought Julia and Jenny just like killed it like super hard. So definitely check that out.
I like it.
Yeah. Other than that, we will see you in the next one, or whenever something crazy happens on the feeds that we got to talk about real quick. So make sure you subscribe to the new channel, and we'll see you next time.